Friday to one and all. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for coming back to yet another episode. Oh man, it is a brand new episode of Sometimes the Old Man is Right. As usual, I am your host, Lamont Ferguson, playing the role of the old man. That is right. You heard me. It is a brand new episode. Oh, it has been a while. It has been quite a while. Matter of fact, I had to look it up and write it down. The last episode was December 13th, 2022. Here we are, June 30th, 2023. That is an entire 6.5 months. 6.5 months, and I know I got some splaining to do. First off, I hope you're well. How you been? What's the good word? I've been all right. I don't know what I've been. I've been away. That's probably the best way to sum it all up, is that I've been away. I took a break. What started out just to be a small break ended up being this break. It is what it is. I didn't put a time frame on it. I got to be able to do it when I'm ready, which is not the correct formula for being successful with your podcast, by the way. It is, they will pound it into your head, whoever they are. Regularity. If you release it on Friday, it's got to be released every Friday. It's got to be regular, because that way people will know how to, I guess in essence, you're just programming them into where to find you. But I'm using the big time Hollywood star approach on this thing. When I got a thing to do, I'll show up and do it, and the true fans will come out and find it. That's where my ego is. So I'm going completely against the current and what all the people say about how to do a successful podcast. I'm going to go ahead and take this long road. That's what I'm going to do. So this is where I've been. I have been working. I have been at work. I took a giant break from social media, which, oh my goodness, let me tell you something. You should try it. You really should. Just to get away and unplug from that social media monster, that time-draining thing that I'm still going to wait for anybody to say, hey, these are amazing positives about social media. Because and I think I've talked about, I know I've talked about this many times before. One, worst invention and best invention we've ever had, all in one, which automatically makes it a horrible invention. And there's no positives for it, really. There aren't. A lot of it is keeping up with the Joneses. Hey, take a look at this person's life. Now think about your pathetic life. Doesn't that make you feel good? Huh? You should feel horrible, because look at how great their life is. Terrible, terrible invention. So I pulled away from it, got off of it, didn't post, and it was fantastic. Now, I will give a shout out to the folks who were friends who noticed that I wasn't on social media and just reached out to me and say, hey, man, you good. That was nice, because that's what people should be doing. Just go, hey, man, I haven't seen anything because you used to post a lot, whatever your silly nonsense was, and now you're not posting anymore. I just want to check in and make sure you're okay. And I was okay. And I greatly appreciate those people that did that. There were quite a few. I was very surprised. It wasn't done for that, and they didn't have to do that. But that's some good friends. And, we should all check in. We should all check in for each other, on one another, people that you care about, because there's nothing worse than if something had been wrong, if something had gone awry, and then those people are thinking, man, I should have reached out. I wish I'd have reached out. Reach out. That's what I'm saying. Reach out. Look, we live in a nutty world where nutty things are taking place, and social media is not helping. So even if you see people on social media, it's good to just reach out and just say, hey, man, or hey, girl, woman, hey, they, whatever it is that you address your people by, you good. Just wanted to check in, like we used to do. Because I'm an old man. And I talk about things we used to do where you just picked up the phone. Oh, my goodness. I remember my mom used to have so many lengthy conversations with her friend. I wasn't listening. I just know she was on the phone talking with her friends, people that she grew up with. 2-hour phone call, not a big deal. They'd have that. Or just checking in. I don't know if anybody else did this. I don't know if this is I don't know if it's a middle class, whatever middle class used to be thing. I don't know if it's a black thing. I don't know if it's a generational thing. But remember when they'd be at your house. My mom's friends, my parents' friends would be at the house, and then they got to go home. Now, we lived in Pomona. Home was LA for them. So that's a little bit over an hour drive. Like, hey, just make sure you let me know when you get home. Use the signal. And the signal was phone would ring twice, and then you'd hang up. And that was the signal to say, we've made it home. Like, it was weird because you couldn't answer the phone. Like, we go, oh, the phone's ringing. They go, no, wait. You got to wait to make sure it's the signal. It would ring twice, hang up. That means they made it home. I kind of miss those days. Those were the days. Hey, call me. Leave the signal. I've just been in an odd and different headspace. I don't want to say that my creativity is fueled by being cranky, because I also took a break from news, which I'm still not back on, but I'll get to that in just a second. I took a break from the news because that helps too. Look, between social media and news, I'm surprised we are not killing each other or at each other's throats on a more regular basis. Because I don't know what's more angering, either the social media and the news, and the combination of both of those things is horrible on mental health and the psyche of people in general. So I took a break from news. I didn't want to watch any news and see what the horrible stuff is that's going on or anything else. But like I said, I didn't want to think that my creativity is fueled by anger, even though in the previous episode, I admitted I am the Hulk of comedy. I am. There's always an undertow of anger in my daily existence that gets me all riled up and gets me fired up. And so by taking a break from it, I'm not saying I wasn't all riled up, but it was less. The undertow wasn't a rip current. The undertow was just a little, hey, that could make me mad, but hey, you know what'll make it better? Go play some pickleball. That's what I do. Oh my goodness, I have picked up the pickleball game. It is stepped up. It is 6 days a week when I'm at home, and any day I can while I'm on the ship. And speaking of which, that is where I am right now. I am at work. I am in Ketchikan, Alaska, and it's a decent day today. I will go out when I'm finished with this podcast and just kind of walk around, but it is the final port. I have been out for 2 weeks, went from Vancouver up to Whittier, Alaska, and then Whittier back down to Vancouver. So I'll be back in Vancouver on Sunday the 2nd, and then hop on a plane to go back home for a handful of days, and then back out to a celebrity ship for just a week. But work has been fine. But I tell you, with the pickleball thing, the weather in Alaska is always hit and miss. And this past week has been miserable. It's been rainy every day, which means no pickleball. And that has affected my mood immensely. It has made me question everything, because all I do is sit in my room and wait for the next day. In essence, is all I'm doing. I sit around, I go, hey, you should be probably doing the podcast. And then I go, no, not. because I'm not in a good mood. I just sit and mope because of the weather. And by the way, that is something that people always accuse other people of doing, but no one ever says, hey, I would like to go mope right now, because it's a good emotion. But that's what I've been doing for the week, is moping because of the weather and no pickleball. But man, oh man, I can't wait to get back home to be able to have just a couple of days where I know I can go out and play, and it will be fine. But like I said, the undertow of anger is always there. And then once it gets ramped up, that's when I decided, you know what? Time to get back to the podcast. Because I had to look at news stories. And it just, so many things this week. I felt like John Wick as I started getting ramped up. People keep asking me if I'm back. And then once I started realizing what the outline was, I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Between the Supreme Court rulings and just getting back to work in general, like I said, because I had a month off prior to this, and the Chicago shooting, which another thing I'll talk about this, it's just been a lot. But I am happy. Once I realized and set up everything and sat down behind the microphone, I was happy with the decision to come back and do the podcast. I'm in a good headspace now. We'll see how long this lasts. That's really the case. We'll see how long it lasts. Let me give you updates on anything else that's going on as far as regular listeners to the podcast. On the home front, Olivia, I guess Olivia is really the main story every episode. Boy, she is getting big as far as height and growing. She just finished the 3rd grade, so it's on to the 4th grade now. That's where Olivia is, and she is, I don't know if she still wants to be a South Korean, a K-pop star, but she is into the TikTok, and you know what I say. That ain't for me. TikTok's not for me. It is odd that I've got people my age constantly sending me TikTok videos and stuff, and I just go, that ain't for us. I know it's not for me. I get annoyed by it. Not by them sending it, but by the fact I don't scroll through TikTok. I don't scroll through any social media right now, but I didn't scroll through TikTok because it's always the same thing. And I'm probably going to reiterate a lot of stuff that I've said in the podcast before for people that are new to the podcast that just start with this episode. I don't like reels. And the more I see reels, the more I'm annoyed by them. I don't understand the idea behind, hey, I saw something. Let's say the first person made a reel, which is them lip syncing to something. And then you see 14,000 other people doing the exact same thing. I don't know why people look at something and go, you know what? I'd like to do that too. And then I'm going to put it out there. As a person who's creative, I don't look and go, oh, I'd like to redo that entire thing because that'll help me. I don't get it. When I've seen the person about, what have I seen? I don't know. What have I seen recently that just made me go, oh. It's a person saying, oh, if I was a fly, would you still love me? And then they catch the fly and then they're simulating sex with the fly. Saw 13 people do that. 13 different people do the exact same thing. Or that dumb TikTok song with the girl that, give me one margarita, I'ma open my legs. Give me two. 427 people I saw do that. Same thing. And then at the end, they go to sleep. Or at the end, the person says they're a liar. 427 people. That's when I stopped. I stopped at 427. So that part I don't get. You want to be creative? Be original. Be creative. Don't be the 307th person and think that you've done something. See, I haven't even started yet, and I'm already angry. I'm already fired up. So I am here on the ship, like I said, back on the home line. I got the show tonight. Tonight's show is an adult show. I will tell you this, not that you even care, but Holland America has changed the format as to how they present comedy. And I'm happy with it because I don't know if I've said this before. It used to be in the early days, you were in the theater. You were in the theater on both shows. Then I found out that these comics, and I'm using the air quotes, these comics decided, hey, what about if you put the show in the lounge and then let the comics do an actual comedy, like a club set show where there's no restriction on it? And that'll be great. So these comics that could not adjust to doing a clean show convinced them to do adult-ish type shows in the lounge. And then every comic was doing adultish type shows in the lounge. And I wasn't a big fan of it. And there was quite a few of my friends that also weren't big fans of it because that's not how the progression of comedy works. You don't work your way up to a theater and then go back down to a bar. So I was annoyed, but I did the job, and but still being annoyed by the entire process of the whole thing. Well, I don't know if people like me and other comic friends complained enough or whatever it was that got it. So now we do one show, family friendly in the theater, and then you can do one show in the lounge that is adult. I'm fine with that. Matter of fact, that is the perfect idea. Why it took 2 years to come to this decision, I don't know. But I'm happy that we're here now. So I've got my adult show tonight in the BB King Lounge there. And then I'm done. That's a wrap. I'm done performing. Be the last of the day. Happy Pride Month to the LGBTQ plus folks out there that may be part of the fan base. I give you a shout out on the last day of your month. And so that's nice. As I said, I've been on the ship and I've been watching and exposed to people. There's not been pickleball, so occasionally I got to go out. I got to go out to go get something to eat, and I don't want to come back to the room because this is where I spend all the other time. So I sit and watch, and I watch people, and I go, man, I need to get back to my room. First of all, there's a walkway. There's a reason there's a walkway, and the walkway is for walking. People that get in the walkway and all of a sudden just stop because they had a thought. Hey, dummy, it's a walkway. No one can go around because you just stopped in the middle of the walkway. Just think about it as a freeway. Like if you're driving down the freeway and all of a sudden you just stop because you thought, oh, did I leave the iron on? Oh my goodness. What was the name of my 4th grade teacher? And you just come to a stop. Well, all the cars are going to pile up behind you. It's the same thing on a ship when you're walking down a hallway or whatever the walkway on the buffet area. Keep it moving or move to the side. I don't understand how that's so difficult. And I just watch more of this, more people doing dumb shit. I was going to say stuff, but I'm a little too fired up for stuff. I watched a woman today allow her toddler, I mean, this baby can barely walk, to go into the hot tub in a diaper. That's it. She's just, oh, this is so adorable and so cute. Let me just let my baby in a diaper go in the general use hot tub. And I was stunned by it because I sat there and watched this whole thing and I just felt my blood boiling. I felt the blood pressure rising. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. How is nothing in your head said this is a horrible idea? That you need your, I don't know how old the baby, whatever the age is when a baby starts walking, was about, let's say, a month after that. So I don't know when you start walking, 11 months, so let's say 13 months, okay? At most, maybe 14. And this kid is in only a diaper. And she's got him in there and just in the tub. Here's the thing about it. The grandmother, the mother of the mother, just as dumb as this goddamn mother, because she's sitting there just watching, going, oh, isn't this wonderful? I'm like, this is a whole tree of stupid. A whole family tree of stupid, just letting this kid go into, and then she'd turn her back and the kid would wander off. There was a time where I thought, oh my goodness, this kid is going to go into this hot tub by themselves and go to the bottom. And by the way, that is exactly what did happen. Eventually, and the mom had to reach in there and grab the kid from under the water. That was after she had already put the kid in the water, took the kid out, changed the diaper, and let the kid go back into the water. I'm like, what is happening here? And I don't have to tell you. You know these are white folks. And I don't even mean to start out by just going racial, but I'm sorry, but when I see things that take place and I go, and if you're listening and you're white and you go, oh, this is a problematic. Well, you find me some minorities that are doing this type of things with their kids, and then I'll gladly say, hey, I was wrong. I'll wait, because you won't find it. I don't know what it is, but it is a crazy thing. Because whenever minorities talk about this and we go, this is white people behavior, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about when we say this is white people behavior. This is white people behavior. You get your baby in a diaper and just dunking it into the hot tub, because that's what everybody wants to sit around in, is a toddler tea of whatever the contents of the diaper is. And I know you're probably saying, you know what, grown people pee in the thing. Well, hopefully they don't. And if they do, they're horrible. They're monsters. But a baby doesn't have the choice and decision of going, oh, I shouldn't do this. Because the reason why the baby has a diaper on is because the baby will just go. Anyway, this is the things I've been seeing that have steered me back to the podcast. What else? I told you the things I would go over. Olivia's fine. It was Father's Day recently. I probably should save that for the end, because that's kind of an upbeat thing. Remind me, yell at your whatever device you listen to the podcast on to remind me later on. That's how I'll close out the show. We got a lot of news. There's a lot of news, a lot of nonsense news that, like I said, just gets you a little fired up. Let's start here with the Supreme Court thing. So the Supreme Court, before their end of term, it's odd. I don't know why this happens, because, I know a lot of things, but there are a lot of things I also don't know. Why does the Supreme Court do all of their work at the very end of their shift? Like, what are they doing during the rest of their shift that they can't spread all this news out? Like, it seems like it's the end of their term. They're getting ready to go on a break, or into their session, rather, and they're getting ready to go on a break. And then they're like, look at all these things we need to do. Let's all do them right now. And then they just dump it out there and let the people have to deal with it, and we just all lose our mind. You could have helped by just spreading this out. I don't know what you're doing during the rest of the time, but I don't see a lot of decisions coming down by the Supreme Court until the very end of the shift. They're like, oh my God, I got to do all the work. And then they do it all. I don't know how we let these people be the people that are these are the people that are waiting until the last second to do the project that's been assigned for 6 months. And they have the final say of the law of the land. I don't think that's a good work ethic, that's what we're doing. We shouldn't let them do that. Spread it out. Do it later. Do it earlier. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Let's go, people. So anyway, the Supreme Court, they made a ruling which in essence, gets rid of affirmative action. And people are up in arms. People are celebrating on one side and people are angry on the other side. And look, if I'm going to go into race, I might as well go into race. White folks, this ain't your area. It's not. It's not your area. This you want to argue about stuff. I always find it funny when white people argue about race because I'm like, this is not your fight. It's the same way I also feel about men arguing for women's issues. This ain't your fight either. It's not. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. The reason for affirmative action boils down to one thing, because I know the argument for or against is people go, well, it should be based on this. Yes, it should be based on merit. But the problem is, often it's not. It's not. Now, I'm not a person that will sit there and say that that America is an amazingly racist place. So I'm not on the side that says, oh, everything is racism and that the whole place is just racist down to its core, its essence. But I'm also not on the side that says there's no such thing as racism at all, because that's where that seems to sit. It's on one side, on the other. And as your parents always told you, or people that were wise always told you, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And that's the truth. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. America is not, let's say this, America is not as racist as it used to be. But it's still a little bit racist. And you can't ask white people about their opinion on how it works. Ask minorities. And I'm not talking just black people. Ask every minority. And they will tell you how they have to act, how we have to act in public to not get any scrutiny on us as people. That lady, you know, the reason why minorities don't let their kids go into the pool in diapers, because people would look at them and go, look at them damn black people. That's what they do. They let their kids go. And look at those damn Mexicans. They let their kid. Look at those the Asian people. They let their kid go into the. That's why. That's why. White people don't get, they just do it. Hey, whatever. There's nobody doing any scrutiny on them as a group, except for me. I am. So know that. Everything should be based on merit. It should be. That's what Dr. King said in his speech. Judged on the content of their character, not on the color of their skin. That's what he said. Because he knew at that point in time that it still hadn't been done. Now imagine that. That was in the 60s. That this Constitution that says all men are created equal still hadn't been followed by 1960. By 1960, which is nearly 100 years after the Constitution. So, if it still hadn't been followed by that point in time, I like the idea that where people go, well, affirmative action's been in place for 40 years, and that's enough. We've got it all under control. The reason why it's there is because people left up to their own decisions and devices won't make the right call. Not all, but too many. I would say one is too many, but that's a altruistic society. You can't look for that, but I say more than one is the problem. Because they're like, we've heard this. If there was no need for affirmative action, then if I made the statement, hey, they're part of the good old boys network, then you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. That's plain and simple. You shouldn't know what I'm talking about if I said good old boys network, because that would be an antiquated term that's gone the way of the house phone or the pay phone. It's things that you wouldn't know anything about, but you do. And we all do. And we know that exists. And so to say that racism doesn't exist, racism does not exist as blatantly, I guess would be the best way to put it, as it used to. But it's still there. There's still a fight. And white people, listen. Shh, 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 shh. Stop bumping the gums. Do a little bit more listening. Just a little. I think in general, this is not just white, this is all people. People could benefit from more listening. Good Lord, we talk a lot. That's the whole thing about social media. I need to hear my opinion heard. Type, typity, type. You got to hear what I have to say. Okay, could you listen? Could you listen? We need more. I think I said this too. This is a new episode. Sounds like a doggone repeat. Talk less, listen more. And I know you're fired up. Oh my goodness. Like, this is the thing about it. I know you guys saw this if you're still on social media. The old lady that was interviewed about Juneteenth. And she was all fired up. She called it the N-word day. It's what she did. Felt fine saying it. And said, I don't know why they need a day. They've already got a month. I don't know why they need that. What's here for white people? What do we have? I don't know, lady. Every damn thing. That's what you have. You have the right to sit there and say it's N-word day. That's what you have. For crying out loud. And I say, as long as women or people like that woman exists. Here's the thing too. Because people really want to go, oh, it's an outlier. She's just one person. She's one person. You think that one person is the only person that has that belief? You think in her circle of friends, she's the only one. They're like, oh, don't even get Joyce started on Juneteenth. No, she has a circle of friends, and those friends also have friends, and there's more friends and more people and more pockets of people who all think like that. And it's not an old person thing either. Look, I'm going to be an old person that starts a campaign against old people, because we need to stop with this myth that it's old people. Because during that time I had a birthday. I'm now 58 years old. I'm doggone close to 60 years old. That would mean in 15 years, I'd be 75 years old. That is an old person. 15 years is barely a generation. Because I think you count a generation as someone that could have been your parent. Okay? So if I'm 15 years away from my parent, that's technically a generation. That would mean that my mom could have had me at 15 and she would have been, 15 years older than me. That'd be a horrible decision. Let's be honest. But it's possible. So I'm one generation from old people. And this thing where old people are like, oh, this is how I am. And I'm so over the giving reverence and respect to old people just because you made it to being old. You must have lost your damn mind. When are we going to just go, look, respect is earned by you having lived a respectful life, living a life that garnered respect. Not just because you made it. Hell, people get lucky every day. There are people that are old and you look at them and go, man, you had to be an idiot at 30. How the hell did you make it to 80? Because you're still an idiot. Well, you can't say that because you're like, oh, we got to be respectful to old people because they made it. You got to be respectful to lucky people? Some people made it because they lived a good life. Other people made it because, hey, they just happened to be very fortunate. And let me give you an example. The woman that accused Emmett Till of rape died within this time period that I was off. And she lived to a ripe old age. Emmett Till was 14, 15, but she lived for a ripe old age. That evil, vile, garbage sack of a human being lived a ripe old age. And Emmett Till died as a teenager. Now, I'm not saying this woman was dumb, but she wasn't a good person. And the fact that she got to live a full life and have children and offspring of vile garbageness, and I don't care what you think. I don't, because like I said, you're sitting there, you're thinking, this is an old, I do not care. I'm on a campaign. People are people. Simple as that. And I'm not giving any reverence, any high regard, putting on a pedestal somebody that happened to be fortunate enough to make it to a certain age. Because there are too many people I see where I'm like, how in the world did you make it back home today? You are a walking idiot. How did you make it home today? So this idea where we give them respect because they're old, but the fact that this woman, the Juneteenth woman, exists is the reason that you need things like affirmative action. Until you can point out and say they don't exist, nobody exists anymore that has any type of racist background, all those people that go, I don't see color, all you lying idiots that say I don't see color. Until they're all gone, all the people that have the black people are this, they want to put them all into stereotypes and all this other stuff. Until they're gone, then yeah, you need to have something to help. It's the old, I think Dr. King also said this, it's about the idea of saying, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but I'm going to need those boots. It's as simple as that. And like I said, I need because I got friends that talk about, they go, well, it's not about race. It's about socioeconomics. It's about economics, which is more bullshit because it's not about social. Like, it could be a combination of the two, but I know plenty of people who are rich black people or rich. You saw it in the Selena story, for crying out loud. Minorities with money going into places where normally only white people go, they get the side eye. What are you doing here? Why are you in this neighborhood? Let me pull you over. What are you doing over here? You think that had to do with economics? Because nobody's driving around with their credit report or their bank statement over their head in a bubble. This is not a damn video game. It's about color of the skin. It's about people that look like they shouldn't belong in whatever the criteria is. You don't belong in this space. So stop saying that it's about socioeconomics. I got tons of people, friends, like, it's not about that because, I was poor growing up and there were black people there and white people there. Okay. And then when you left there, what happened? Because could the black people just freely go wherever it is that you went when you got enough money to leave there? Or whatever it is, you worked hard to get out of there. But did black people in that neighborhood still get the same opportunities that you got? I don't know. I hear people all the time talking about this. It's not about color. Okay. When you say it's not about color, you might as well be saying it's only about color. The weird thing about it is no one ever makes this statement. No one ever says, I would trade places with a person of color. I've never heard a white person say, they always tell you about how it's about hard work and it shouldn't be about color. And it's about, just being able to strive and work hard and get there. But I never hear them say, I would trade places. Because one, it's not possible. Even if it's not possible, I don't hear a person say, you know what, I know it's not possible, but I would trade places with a black person. Like, of course you wouldn't. Chris Rock has the greatest joke about it, where he says that not a white person in this room would trade places with me, and I'm rich. It's not about socioeconomic status. It's about the prejudice against the skin color. So stop with your nonsense. This ain't your argument. So I guess we'll see what happens. It'll be one of those things where you see, I guess you won't probably see in my lifetime, maybe later on. We will see how this works out. We will see whether or not the decision to say no more trying to make things diverse because the system is fine. That's in essence what they're saying, is the system is fine. No more of that. And then we'll see how it turns out. I'm a person that says wait and see. We'll see how it turns out. But I'm also the first person in line to look at you. I won't say I told you so, but the look on my face will be screaming, I told you so. When Trump was elected, I went on stage and I just said, we'll see how this works out. That's all I said. I wasn't one of these people that's going, oh, this was a bad thing, because I root for the success of the country. I root for the success of the country. If it's not the person I wanted it to be, then I still hope they do well. Because if they do well, then we do well. It's still the country. Still one country. There might be some divisiveness or I don't know. Is the word divide? I thought the word was divisive and then it would be divisiveness. But I've heard divisiveness. I don't even know. I don't know words anymore. I can't. Words have no more meanings. The word almost means the same as it happened. You ever heard somebody talk about they're suing because something almost took place? Like, but it didn't take place. Yeah, but it almost took place, and I need pain and suffering. Like, so the word almost, that's no more meaning for that. That just now means it did happen. People can tell a story. Man, I almost got hit by a car. Did you get hit by a car? No, but I almost got hit. Then you don't have a story. Heck, we all almost got hit by a car. We all could have possibly been hit by a car. If this had happened, if that had happened, we then would have been hit by a car. I see people all the time. Oh my goodness, calm down. It didn't happen. Calm down. Words have meaning. Divisiveness, I don't know which one. But we will see. We'll see what happens. Supreme Court also made the decision on businesses can discriminate against LGBTQ people based on their own religious beliefs, which that's not going to end well. I'm going to say that. I would say we'll see how this works out, but I'm going to say that's not going to end well. That decision is not going to end well, because all of a sudden there'll be a whole bunch of people that have very staunch religious beliefs. It is funny because, look, no disrespect towards anybody's religion, but when it comes to religious beliefs and people who are staunchly into their religious beliefs, let's be truthful. They're the most duplicitous hypocrites you'd ever want to see. There's nothing else I could say about it. People say, I want to live that life, but they don't. They don't in the aspect of being 100% pure to that life, but somehow they have an excuse for it. They have an excuse, a way around it, because they're human. And I got no respect for people when it's only convenient for them to be that. When it's only convenient for you to bring up I'm going to roll up the religious flag and say I'm against this, but meanwhile you take a look in their life and go, Man, there's a whole lot of stuff going in here that is satanic. There's no other way to put this. What are you doing? Well, I believe in this one thing. Okay. All right. I will look, it's the whole thing. What is it? Judge not others, lest you be judged, lest you be judged. I've never claimed to be very biblical. So I may have that word wrong, but you understand what I'm saying. You understand the gist of what I'm saying. I don't judge people because I don't want to be judged. But I can judge a lot of people. Because the thing is, no one wants to be judged, right? No one wants to have judgment passed on their lives, but people are so eager to judge everyone else's life. I look at it in different segments. I will judge you on your life versus whatever aspect that I'm judging you. And you can look at my life. So that lady that, it's odd that how this lady become the focal point of the podcast. The lady that was putting her kid in the hot tub, I'll judge that because I wouldn't put my kid in diapers in a hot tub. So I'll make that judgment. But this idea where they go, we're against your lifestyle, which is, it's easy to combat, because if you are under the idea of that God created everything, then ask them whether or not you believe that the gay lifestyle, which is, I even hate using that word lifestyle in that context, is a choice. Because if it's not a choice, then that was a creation by God. So why are you against it? In essence, you're telling me that God made a mistake. But God doesn't make mistakes. So, I would say that the thing about it is that maybe, what would be funny is if then someone who was part of the LGBTQ community opened up their own business and said, you know what? We choose, because we can pick our own religion, choose to not cater to straight people. We only cater to gay folks, part of the LGBTQ plus community. That's all we do. And say it's based on their religious beliefs. Because there is no one religion. You can just base your religion on whatever. That would be a thing. And then we'll see how that war goes. Then they corner the market on all things that are LGBTQ plus. Good Lord. Can we just, I know you're not supposed to just say gay to cover the entire umbrella, but you got to say, that's a lot. It's a lot. As far as the LGBTQ plus, it takes a lot as opposed to just saying gay and go, that's in the umbrella, but I know that's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I'm just saying. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. That's what I'm saying. So I guess we'll see how this works out. We'll see how the being able to discriminate based on your religious beliefs against the LGBTQ plus. I need a robot that just hit a button to say that. Community works out. But like I said, I don't think it's going to end up well. I just don't. So those are the Supreme Court's decisions. Those came down today. Again, maybe not overload America with all this fire in one day. You could have done your project along the day. You had all day. You had all day to come to this decision, and you wait until now. That's on you, Supreme Court. All this anger, that's on you. All right. Look at us. We are moving right along. Oh, you know what? I guess I should wrap up my campaign against old people, because I am really tired of old people getting over. Like I said, I'm one generation away one generation away from being old. And I should feel like, hey, it's coming on. I can't wait to stop in the middle of a walking path because I couldn't remember my fourth grade teacher's name. And I'm just going to pile things up and then look surprised that this happened. Or my favorites, now I don't think I've ever told this story, is I'm at the bank years ago. One of the few times I had to walk into the bank. And it is busy. There is a line that goes almost out the door of the bank. An old man walks in, walks right up to a window, and just stands there. The teller comes over and tells him, "Oh, sir, there's a line. All those people are in line. That's what the line is." And he looked at the line and just said, oh. And you know what happened? They helped him. Now, nobody said anything. I had a little laugh going on because I got, you son of a gun. You got over. You gonna tell me you don't know anything about a line? Like a line has never, ever crossed your mind. You walked into a bank, saw a group of people, and thought, I don't know what they're doing. Let me go get helped right here. And when they explained to you what a line was, you looked like, oh, I've never heard of a line. You never heard of a line. Are you shitting me? You never heard of a line? How old are you that you've never heard of a line? You've dealt with lines your entire life. The only person that could say they never heard of a line, talking about biblical thing, it'd be Adam. Adam. And it was for a very short time. There were no lines. Adam was the only person around. There were 0 lines. And then he woke up one time, and then there was another person. Eve was there, and guess what? Son of a bitch, there's now a line. So that dude's never heard of a line, but he knows about banking. He knows enough to go to the bank. Let me tell you something. You know about lines well before you know about money. You can ask a kid, where does money come from, or where do they keep money? They're like, I don't know. I don't know. I just want that. Well, that costs money. Do you know how to get that money? Nope. I just want that thing. But you said, hey, go to the playground and go stand in the line. They're like, all right, I'll go stand in the line. There. They know about the line before they know about finances. So you're going to tell me this old man didn't know a thing about lines, but he knew about banking. See, this is what I'm talking about. They're old people. Boy, they got a great lobby that's just pushing them through. Hey, you need to respect us because we made it to being old. No, you're going to have to show me a resume, homie. You're going to have to show me a resume, my good man. Show me the things you've done in your life to earn respect. Other than what you just did right now is trying to get over on young people because you didn't feel like waiting. Good Lord. Campaign against old people. It's not going to be popular. And I don't care. Because I'm right next door to old. And I see you, old people. I see you. All right, we got a couple more things to get through. Then I will turn you loose. This Chicago story, if you don't know anything about it, this is the story of this week. The charges were dropped against the mother and her son because they went into she went into a restaurant and got into an argument with another customer. Now, the woman, she's 35. The other customer, the gentleman, he is, all I know is that the woman is 35. The gentleman, and by the way, I don't even know why I'm using the term gentleman. This is just a bad story all around. This dude, who's 32, got into a fight with his woman, got into an argument. Now, they've got video of it, and I hate legal terms. I hate when they're like, allegedly. I'm like, I saw it. What are you going to mean allegedly? We saw it. It's the Richard Pryor joke. Who you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? We saw it. They go, allegedly hit this woman. We saw him punch this woman. We heard him say, if you say another word to me, I'm going to knock you out. But, allegedly. So there's an argument that ensues. I don't know what this argument could have been over. I have no idea. But he's yelling at her. Just take your food and go. She kept talking. He's like, ooh, if you say another word, I'm going to knock you out. Don't say another word, I'm going to knock you out. She said another word, and he punches her. I don't know where he hit her because the camera angle was off, but according to the stories, she was hit in the head. Now this happened twice because he hit her the first time. She said something else, and then he hit her again. Now, apparently, the woman had texted her son, who's 14, to come to this restaurant and shoot this man. I guess at the time when there must have been an argument going on earlier. The argument must have been going on for a little while because by the time that he hit her, in the video, shortly after he hits her the second time, a gunshot rings out. So the text must have happened earlier. The son then showed up at the restaurant at the time of the assault. And here's the weird thing about it, because this is how journalism works now. The headline of the story says, mom is charged after telling son to shoot a man. That's what it was. The mom is charged in telling the son to shoot a man. Somehow that's what the article states. It does not state, because you could have also written an article that said, man assaults a woman and then gets gunned down. But somehow that wasn't the tone of the... So I've read many articles. I saw many. I pulled it up. The reason why I pulled up so many articles about it, and all of them said the same thing. They were all, woman, in essence, woman puts hit on man. But not one says that he assaults her. Not a single one says that unarmed woman assaulted by a man. Now, the feminists will say this is how much hatred there is for women in the country. And you know what? Good luck defending that. Good luck defending that, because it's plain and simple. He punched a woman in the head. I'm sure he meant to punch her in the face, but he missed. And let's say he hit her in the head. Fist to head twice. And nowhere does anybody say that he assaulted her. But the story is horrible because the boy did show up. The boy did shoot the man, shot the man in the back. The man ran out. They shot at him some more times. Then the mother and the son ran out. I read one article where the thing said that the article said that the mom also told the son to shoot the girlfriend. Okay, that's a bit much. I'm going to draw the line there. That's a bit much. Because she said that the girlfriend helped instigate and get the guy all revved up to start the argument with the woman. Which, boy, that is another whole story again, too, about, the girlfriend that is busy getting the boyfriend in fights. We've all seen that story. The girl is out. She's drunk. You're like, yeah, you tell him, like, why are you talking? You are not going to take this ass whooping. Why are you not shutting the hell up? But you can't say that today, even though you should be able to say that today. Like, if you're going to open your mouth as a woman and think, oh, well, he's going to fight. No. This is your fight. Now, I'm not here to defend your honor because you won't rein in your stupid mouth. Like, she said it. You want to hit somebody, hit her, because she's the one that says it. I'm not here as your goon to go, oh, attack him. Shut up. Shut the hell up. So the mom told to shoot the girlfriend, which the son didn't. And then apparently the mom tried to get the gun from the son, and then the son pushed her off, and then they ran out. So they were charged with murder, and those charges were dropped. But it's a horrible situation. Before I get to the weird part that my mind goes to, let's get to the serious part of it. There are no winners here. There are no winners here. Everyone here in this situation is a loser. And I don't mean a loser as in a quality of life loser. I mean just losers in this situation. A 14-year-old boy now has to live with the fact that he shot and killed and took the life of a man. On the orders, allegedly, we'll say this part allegedly, of his mother. But let's say he had been there. I don't know where I stand on this, but I'm going to just say it. That's the right thing to do. If I'm a 14-year-old kid, well, first of all, the fact that the mom knew that the boy had a gun, that he had access, like, that's weird, right? That's a little disturbing. Hey, come shoot. He's 14. Come shoot. Like, it'd be one thing if she said, bring me my gun. That's a different thing, because that means she's going to shoot him. But now she's ordering kid kill a gangster. She's created this kill a gangster to say, come here and shoot this man. And it's his mom. Was he going to, But if you're there and you hit my mom, you don't walk away. You don't walk away. But you felt so angry that you could hit a woman. And I know we live in a society where it's not supposed to be this and the genders and that type of I'm sorry. I'm an old man, remember? You shouldn't put your hands on anybody, but you definitely shouldn't be putting your hands on a woman. And you punch a woman twice. You threaten her to say, if you say anything else, I'm going to knock you out. First of all, that was wrong too from the first place. But you punch her twice, and I'm there. I can't stop shooting you if I have access to a gun. I will not stop shooting you. My mom? People are lucky that anybody else there didn't stop it, because I'd have shot them too. Why'd you let them hit my mom? Seriously. Are you out of your minds? This is what we've done with society. This is Chicago, and Chicago's a different story because it is, it's where all the shootings take place. It's where all the black people and stuff like that take place, and all this other nonsense that's there. So it is difficult to wrap your head around the entire thing. Boy's 14, mom's 35, which means she's 21 when she had this kid. Come on now. 21, raising a kid. I was 22 when my son was born. And I will be the first one to tell you, I didn't have a single clue as to how to be a parent at all at 22. And you're a 21-year-old woman. I don't know if there was a father in the picture or not, but 21, raising the son, raising a kid, you have no idea how to be a parent. None whatsoever. The fact that you said, hey, come here and shoot this guy tells me you had no idea how to be a parent. But the 32-year-old dude who decided I need to punch a woman tells me that dude's got issues as well. And he also is a father of, I believe, 2 girls. 2 girls. Imagine that. That dude hit a girl, and he's the father of 2 girls. There are no winners in this story. Now, the story got even weirder because the family of the dude, the victim, the deceased, then started a GoFundMe in essence, for the children. And people, boy, I tell you, social media, what I tell you about social media, social media don't give a hoot. They don't. They lit that dude's family up. Oh, now you care. I wouldn't give a penny to just the comments. Nobody's given any money at all because they saw that dude's behavior and in essence went, you brought this on yourself. You should have thought about this before you hit a mom. Should have thought about your children before you hit a mom. And they got a point. They got a point. So his family's coming on social media talking about, oh, we need money for this. And people don't care. And I don't blame them. How could you blame them? Walk away. I mean, I know it's simple. It's easier said than done. But I don't know what it would take. I don't know what it would take for me to get mad enough to punch a woman. I don't know. I don't know if there is anything. I have no idea. So, this is one of those things where it's like, is it victim blaming? Like, I believe there's some instances where, look, you could have done different things. Like, this goes back to that whole, remember that Florida rape case where the judge asked the woman what was she wearing? Because that was the most asinine thing ever. And then there are people that believe, well, they shouldn't be wearing it. A woman should be able to go out naked and not have somebody attack her, physically attack her. Because plain is, keep your hands to yourself. What type of animal are you that you go, I just saw it and I couldn't take it. I had to attack her. She showed me cleavage. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your goddamn mind? But the dude, say one more thing and I'll knock you out. Now, here's the weird thing my head went to. I kept looking for the name of the restaurant. I'm like, where is this restaurant? What were they eating? Every article I saw just said fast food restaurant. And then some articles gave the address, never the name. I'm like, how much money did they pay to protect the name not going out there? I got the name of the mom. I got the name of the victim. I got everything, but not the name of the restaurant. I had to look for it. I had to look for the name of the restaurant. And the name of the restaurant, hang on a second, I got it right here. It was, oh man, I may have lost it. It was Maxwell Street Express. And it's just a food place. Maxwell Street, oh, here it is. Maxwell Street Express. That, I don't even know what it's a fast food place. There's also a drive up, but it's almost like a diner, where there's a whole variety of food there. So it's not like, and it's apparently it's a spinoff of an original chain. So it's like, like a little outlet of, that's why it's Maxwell Street Express, because apparently there must be a Maxwell Street type of restaurant. But this is like, hey, we're going to have a little offshoot of it that just serves the same food, but we're going to put the thing here. It's not a full restaurant. So you can walk in or you could drive through. And they got some pictures of the food, but I'll tell you right now, boy, it looks like some good food. It does. It looks like some delicious, not good for you, greasy, tasty food. I saw like a beef dip sandwich, and I was like, oh my God, that looks delicious. It's not punch a woman or get shot for delicious in the pictures, but I don't know what camera they used. I don't know. I got a Galaxy Note. I could probably take a really good picture. But it looked good. It really did look good. Oh my goodness, the food looked tasty. It's like I said, my head goes odd places because you couldn't find it. It was so odd that you couldn't find it, and I had to search for it. Then I was on a mission. I had to find the name of the restaurant. It's 4 out of 5 stars. That's what it gets on Yelp. 4 out of 5. All right, understandable. If it causes violence, sure, I'll knock you down a star. If you look at the list, like they got, it's this many 5 stars, this many 4, this many 3, this many 2. Not a single 1-star rating. That's odd. Not one? Not one single 1-star rating. There was a fight and a shooting. And by the way, they're open today. They're still open today. A fight and a shooting, and nobody went 1 star. They're like, you know what? 2. Okay, I was going to give it a 3, but the gunshots, I'm going to give you a 2. Not a single 1-star rating. These are some of the reviews. And this is why I'm like, yeah, I don't even think you should be in this place. Super easy to just pull off the highway and enjoy. All right, that's plain and simple. Next rating, I saw one that said, it's across the street from public housing, and at night, it's dark. God bless the internet, huh? This is what we missed out with social media and the internet. We would not have been able to get this hard-hitting information that at night, it's dark. It's across the street from public housing, and at night, it's dark. Thank you, internet. Thank you, social media. Thank you, Al Gore. If it went away tomorrow, we'd be so much better. And then my favorite one was, this place never fails to deliver when you're drunk at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. All right, first of all, a.m. covers morning. No need for the rest of that in there. You're being a little repetitive. But it was a wide span of when you're drunk. 2, 3, 4. It's a lot of drunk. Drunk for a long time. If you're 1 a.m. drunk, don't even show your face around here at 1 a.m. drunk. But 2, 3, 4, good place. So that's where my head went. But a horrible story altogether. Like I said, no winners. Woman raising a kid she had when she was 21 years old. And you go, well, why is the mom telling the kid to have a gun? That's bad parenting. Well, think about it. The mom lives in a place where she needed to have a gun. That's bad altogether. The mom is in a place where she needed to have a gun. Gun was probably necessary. Turns out it was. If she can just get punched in the face for having words, yeah, I guess it was. So, that one, socioeconomic, that also boils down to race. Because I'm pretty sure if that place is across from public housing, that's the hood. That's the hood, by the way, for white folks that don't know. That's the hood. And if you look around that area, I'm pretty sure there's nothing but black people. Why? Why are there only black people, or a majority of black people, in the hood? Because it's something to do with redlining and zoning, and this is where the black people should be living because they can't afford to live somewhere else. And it's a whole cycle, and it's systemic and systematic, and it boils down to this. It comes down to this horrible tragedy, and this story is not a one-off story. This story is all throughout America. And the people that don't want to listen, and the people that go, nope, no affirmative action needed, we're good to go. Well, this took place with affirmative action. So that the one person or two people could get out and get to a good college, the valedictorian of the school there with books that are not up to par and stuff like that could possibly get a little leg up and go into a good school. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Where are we on time? Good grief. I don't even know. Oh my God. Okay, we're moving along. I'm trying to see if there's any other, I think some other stories will have to wait. There was, because I got to do the more research on it. The story about how they've decided that pickleball injuries will cost like $400 million for people this year. I'll just briefly just give my take on it, on the fact that they said it's going to cost $400 million for people. Because a lot of times, I'll tell you why. Look, I didn't just get off the couch and start playing pickleball. I went from basketball to pickleball. Am I worried about an injury? No more than I am worried about a basketball injury. And I've had many basketball injuries because that's part of the game. So I'm walking around on bad knees. If you know me, you know that. I walk around on bad knees. I walk around on knees that I was told by a doctor, don't play basketball anymore. You can't. Matter of fact, at 16 years old, when I initially tore up my knee, on the consult after the surgery, I was told by the doctor, you are missing the medial collateral ligament in your knee. It is just torn away. So we just removed the rest of it. Now, the cleanup we did for the cartilage, that all went fine. But because you don't have that ligament in your knee, you are no longer able to play basketball. You can't play any sports whatsoever. Matter of fact, you can't even run, stop, and change directions with the possibility that your knee may give out or tear. And at 16 years old, when I had the dream and the vision that I was going to the NBA, that was devastating. Absolutely devastating. I remember that day like it was yesterday, of sitting in that doctor's office with my mom and trying not to cry, hearing that information. Then going to rehab. He said, you just go to rehab. I go to rehab, which was brutal, by the way. And coming out of rehab and going in for a checkup, and the doctor saying, you did such a good job on rehab. I will tell you this. If I wasn't the one that did your surgery, I wouldn't think that there's anything structurally wrong with your knee. So he kind of gave me a half-hearted okay to go back to playing basketball and doing sports. And I've had many knee injuries since then because of exactly what he said. But I'd heal and power through and be able to brace it up and just do it because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. So I am an athletic person coming into the game of pickleball. Most pickleball people aren't. I've watched so many people. I was on a ship about a month ago, and I saw so many people fall. And the reason is, you've been sitting on the couch for the past 25 years. Now you heard about this sport. It seems fun. It looks easy. And now all of a sudden you're going to go out there and give it your all. Oh my goodness. You just walked backwards 3 steps and fell flat on your back. That's why the injuries are taking place. So I'm not surprised by it, because too many people are all of a sudden getting up off their couch that they've been sedentary for the past 25 years and think, I'm an athlete. Stop it. Do some stretching. Work your way up, for crying out loud. So I may go into that a little more detail next time. What were some of the other stories? Killer whales are attacking boats in Europe, or Spain, Europe, which is weird. And I haven't looked into why they're doing that, so I got to look into that. And then there was a weird story that I didn't know anything about South Korea changing the way that they keep track of people's ages. And that's an interesting story. I will get into that and some other things. Apparently Gator ramen is a thing. So there's a lot of stuff I'm leaving here on the table. I will have for the next episode, whenever that will be, December of 2024. So stay tuned. Anyway, let's wind this down. I said, you remember what you were supposed to remind me? Are you yelling? All right. We had Father's Day. Father's Day took place. This will be a nice wrap up for a lot of stuff here. So Father's Day took place earlier this month. And it was nice to hang out with the kids, the children, the 2 kids that are at home there. And I got a card. And I don't have it with me, I think, or maybe I do have it. I just don't have it out right here. But the card was signed by Olivia and Noah. And on the card, Olivia said something. I don't really remember what Olivia said. It was probably just thank you and love you and that type of stuff. And then Noah Noah said something that that really got to me. It was what Noah had written. Like Olivia writes stuff all the time. God bless her. She's a great kid. You know how I feel about Olivia. But Noah rarely talks. Like he'll come out and he'll share something with me here and there and stuff like that. But Noah wrote, "Thanks for taking care of us." And I will tell you that meant everything. I will let you guys know. I've got the 4 kids. And when I had Alex, I was 22 years old. When Sydney was born, I was 25 years old. And I did not know anything about being a parent. And if you were to look at it from the grand scheme of things, I would honestly just say that I failed as a parent to those 2 kids. And fortunately enough in life, like doesn't happen a lot, that you get a second chance to try and do better, to try and be better. And I try to do the best I can, whatever that is. And it's not about whatever money you can supply them or whatever it is. It really is about being there. It's about being there more than anything else. It's not about, like, I was there for Alex and Sydney. I was there for birthdays, and I was there for different, school things and stuff like that. But I wasn't there on a regular daily basis. And a lot of it is about being there for the monotony of the daily basis. That's your job as a parent, as a father, is just to be there, be available during the times when nothing's going on. Hey, I made something out of nothing, and then they'll remember that. But Noah saying, "Thanks for taking care of us," made me feel like I'd done something good. Because like I said, that kid barely talks. You'll hear him in his room. He's talking. He talks to his friends. He's on the video games. He's doing stuff like that. But I will tell you, kid, and for all my kids, it is an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be able to take care of your kids. It really is. That dude that punched the mom, I don't think he understood that, because he may have had kids at too early of an age. And that's problematic, that a lot of people are having kids at way too early of an age. I know I did. At 22, no idea, no clue. I joke about it, saying that at 22, you don't know what you're doing as a parent. You have no idea. You spend your time saying, "I am the parent," and at that point, you're trying to convince both of you. Is really what's going on. You really are. You're trying to convince, "I'm a parent. Oh my goodness, I am a parent. I am a parent." And there's no blueprint. Every generation just tries to look at the mistakes that their parents made and then correct those. That's really the only blueprint you have as a parent. The only thing you have to be able to do as a parent. So that's how we'll end it. Had a good Father's Day. Because my kids said, "Thanks for taking care of them." My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. And I will never stop. Never stop taking care of you. All right. That is it. I am back. And now we're done. There's so many things that haven't been done since last time that I said. The website is still a mess. LamontFerguson.com. It's still a mess. I thought about it. Still a mess. But that's where you can reach me. You can email the show at oldmanisright@gmail.com. Maybe I'll check that email, see what's going on there. Like I said, I'll be off for a little bit of time. I'll be on the celebrity solstice in July, and then a little bit more time off, and then back on another celebrity ship. I don't think I get back to the home line for a bit. So that's kind of a little melancholy because, I love the home line. I'm big on the home line, and I'll miss it. I mean, I got love for celebrity, but you know the case. No one's replacing Holland. Come on now. So I'll be back on Holland doing what I do when I do. Other than that, celebrity, Alaska back and forth for what seems to be forever. And when I'm at home, I'll be on the pickleball court, people. I'll be there. Lakewood, Marina Vista, all the places. I'm going to be there. I'll be there working on my dinking and my strategy. Lewis Johnson and myself, we've been kicking around. We're some new episodes of what is still and temporarily called A Good Green Room. We're coming back. We will be back. Don't know when, but look for that. We'll be there doing what we do. Other than that, I think that is it. Is there anything else from the minutes? Anyone got anything? No one? All right, we're moving on. I talked about a lot of things here. Good grief, it's almost an hour and a half. But I was gone for 6.5 months. So, like I said, John Wick, I'm thinking I'm back. I talked about the people and their behavior. Talked about the Supreme Court ruling, affirmative action, all this other stuff. All the other nonsense, the Chicago shooting, Father's Day, all of the stuff I talked about. I talked about a campaign against old people, which seems weird. Seems like, man, we have traced the phone call that's coming from inside the house. All I know is some of these things, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. You know the case. It's just a man behind a microphone giving his thoughts and his opinions on life as I see it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's an old person that doesn't know about a line or what it is. I could be incorrect. But you know the drill. Sometimes the old man is right. I'll see you next time.